again. My name is Matthew Alderson, and this time I will be performing my poetry. The clear orange bottle was empty. It had been empty a day. It suddenly seemed so costly. Someone called for anyway. The years had passed. They had passed more or less as the way years should. Maybe he changed, or maybe the doctors had misunderstood, but he remembered his promise. It came like a mild cramp. He saw three faces that Sunday: mother, sister, and niece. Scared eyes that brought him no peace, but he remembered his promise. The drugstore said 1 hour. Mental health is a popular topic of discussion. Nationwide, a push is being made to educate young children on the importance of being healthy, both physically and mentally. But has anyone stopped to examine what mental health looks like for individuals with mental illnesses? In my selection today, we hear of an individual struggling with their own mental illness and treatment. The Orange Bottle by Joshua Mahagan. Back home again, he was tired. The label said caution, said warning. He left the clear orange bottle on lip sync till morning. The insert said warning, said caution. The insert said constipations. It said insomnia, vivid dreams, and hypersalivation, and increased urination and spinning sensation. It also said a possibility of night sweats. The insert said all of this. The insert he never read. At 5, something woke him. Maybe a close whisper, a far cry. He lay there listening hard, till 6, till 7, till 8. At 9, he remembered the bottle. But 9 was too late. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the pill. And by 10, he was feeling restless, with a whole day left to kill. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the medication. And the bright yellow morning suddenly seemed edged with a shady fascination. Why should he go to his workplace? Who was his supervisor? He had a sickening feeling that he was getting wiser. Even the bedroom window, the open window full of sun, continually hinted that something should be done. But he was crooked and useless. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the drug. And just then, the telephone rang, and he ripped out the plug. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the poison. And the doors to the house creaked open, and the cellar door lifted and let a little noise in. There, just outside his window, lurked life like a cheap cartoon. So he closed the sash and locked it, and checked it all afternoon. He closed the blinds on that world, no longer an agent of it. Then, with one finger, pulled the slat down and set his eye above it. At first, it was grimly amusing. At last, it was grimly grim. To watch all those hunched, hurried people who made it like they were watching him. The neighbors were thinking out loud. They knew he was up to no good. They laughed and called him a dirty pig, because no one ever understood. So he lay on his side, unable to move at all, except for his big toe, which dug at the wall. Which dug at the wall. Which dug. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the cure. And they begged him to sew his mouth shut, just to make sure. Don't take me, cried the clozapine. Don't take me, cried the poison. And the gates to the wicked city gaped. And the gates to the temple screamed and screamed. And the gates to the garden groaned and yawned. His thoughts were advancing like wolves. Lay still for an hour and a half, then reared up on his rickety legs like a newborn calf. Then rug, hall, stairs, porch, stoop, street, and the blacktop humanely warm on the soles of his naked feet. His walk was stiffened by fear, but it took him where he was going. Into a terrible world of children and daffodils growing, and friendly people helloing, and time itself slowing. And none of them knowing. That nauseous axis was forming, that it would not be controlled. But what could he do? Even friends would take these facts for lies. He couldn't tell who his enemies were, though he felt the hot breath of their eyes. The coffee shop smelled like coffee, but it felt different inside. A new waitress went by, she winked, but he kept his eyes open wide. Then, wild-eyed out of the kitchen stormed a small old man, shouting in a strange language and waving a frying pan, shoving him out the door into the chattering street, shoving, waving, and shouting, and pointing at his bare, gray feet. Then came a dark blue uniform, a badge glinting in the sun, and the belt jangling like a stormtrooper as the boots broke into a run. "Take that!" cried the patrolman. "Take that!" cried Johnny Law, straightening that cuff Kurt's jaw. And his chin throbbed, and the handcuffs ate at his wrist, and he would be hacked to pieces soon, and he would not be missed. "Don't take me!" cried the victim. "Don't take me!" cried the threat. The little pen where they had put him had a toilet, but no stall. Time had passed, but you couldn't tell it on the trap fly ticking on the wall. When they came, he was ready. He talked, they wrote it all down, and then they were in a cruiser on their way across town, then into mirrored buildings over waxed lobby floors, down miles of echoing hallways, through heavy brown doors, and into a humming beige room, and a bed with a river view, and an outside lock, and jailers who wore white instead of blue. "Take that," smiled the doctor. "Take that," smiled the nurse. And he pressed his lips tighter, and things got worse and worse. "Please," threatened the nurse. "Please," growled the doctor. And he raised his fist to cover his mouth. But the nurse was too close, and he clocked her. Now in the room came big men who did not clamor or shout, but pinned him with ease to the bed, strapped him down, and went out. And the nurse came and emptied a needle into his arm. And everyone left, content that he would do no more harm. When the doctor came a fifth time, it was long past dawn. They had found him a room, he said. The next 2 days were sleep and words through a fine white mist. Then he woke inside a machine whose motion he could not resist. "Tick, tock," said the clock. Creak, creak went the bed. Drip, drip went the sink. Throb, throb went his head. Why, screamed the patient. Tick-tock went the weeks. Teeter-totter went his brain. Snip, snip went fate. Click, clank went the gate. My, said his mother. Bah, bah, said the sheep. In the car away from that place, his family had a pleasant chat. He seemed fine again and humble, though his speech was oddly flat. He said there was a halfway house where he'd be residing. Each night he fell asleep, and each morning he got up, washed down his medicine, and squashed the paper cup. And the church bells rang, and the dinner bell tinkled, and the school bell tolled, and called all the good girls and boys in. And all of them brought their toys in, and all of them swallowed their poison.